Good morning. Good morning.
Hi. Hey. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is the one week where I actually told my family that to tune in live for a 7:30 a.m. start, and boy, my reputation on the line. Hard to trust a man these days, isn't it?
You've got some big news. Is that why?
No, I was saying that we didn't start at 7:30 because someone, and I'm not going to say who, was late.
Yeah. Well, there's one person watching.
Oh,
You got to
okay.
you don't want to be
What, too
2 minutes
overeager?
early. You don't want to be 2 minutes early. So I got a new lamp. And I'm using that as my light, and I think it's better. I like it. I don't need to
Yeah.
use this fucking thing. No more of this.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that was there, but I like whatever it is that you're doing. It looks a lot better. And wait a second, what's the light going across your keyboard all about?
Oh, yeah, it's on, and it's like sleeping.
That's kind of cool, actually. I'm into that.
Yeah, I need to turn this off. It's gonna be
So
distracting.
when it's not on, it sweeps the light like that.
Yeah, it's like a screensaver.
Well, that's cool.
Now it's off.
I'm into that. Why don't you play us a little something? No,
I just
not
turned
like
it
that.
off. Just turned it off.
I guess.
I'd have to turn it back on.
I know. It's irreversible once you get to that stage.
I have been messing around with stuff. I'm trying to do a one of the things I remember, it was actually Jerry Seinfeld was talking about with comedians and workflow and just trying to get better. He's like, just write every day.
I like that.
You go every day, and then on you get a physical calendar, and every day you write for 30 minutes. Doesn't matter. You exit off, right? And so after a while, you have a chain, and your goal at that point is to just not break the chain. So if you're on day 4 and you're not motivated, you need to find 30 minutes to just sit down and write, regardless of whether you're motivated or not.
Like,
and so I'm doing. Did Stevie Nicks do that?
She said, "Never break the chain."
Oh yeah, that's what she was talking about. Jerry Seinfeld's interview with NPR.
Yep, exactly right.
In 2006.
Little piece of rock history for everybody.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I'm taking Stevie Nicks' advice and just trying to. I write him and then I save him on my computer, and then tomorrow I start something completely new.
The chain then is the momentum of consecutive days. You know, your accumulation of 10,000 hours.
Yeah. It's like just the more you do it, the better you get at it. Period.
Oh yeah, that.
And so there's
about practice.
You need
practice.
Talking about practice.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Is your goal to write some original stuff? When you say writing, in this case, you're talking about producing.
Yeah. Just to try it. Why not?
That's great, man.
I don't know that I'm ever
support this.
I have no dreams to ever do it for money. Does that make sense?
It does, but I don't even think you said that about this too, which is, gonna only last for so long before the advertising dollars start rolling in. So enjoy it while it lasts, Rich. But I don't even know that needs to be a consideration.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess maybe because you've done it for money before. That's in your head. You've sold yourself before out there on the streets for music.
Yeah, it's a music whore. Just a low down music whore walking the streets.
But Jerry Seinfeld was doing his writing to use in the world.
Yes.
So
I
maybe,
think
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was going to say, are you okay with putting it out there, or you're just not looking to profit off of it?
No, I'm okay putting it out there. If I think it's good, here's what I've noticed. When it comes to music stuff, if I think it sounds good, usually that means other people are really going to like it.
That's good.
So
I like that.
So if I get to that point where I'm now comfortable enough being like, this is sick, I'll let people hear it because they're probably going to like it.
I mean, I don't think there's anything you've ever played for me that I didn't like. Some of it's better than others, but it's all good. Like, you definitely have talent. So I keep going, man. I think that's
got
great.
The ear for it. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you do have the ear for it. You know, it's interesting too, because I wonder where that comes from, right? Like, where does the ability to create music, is it something we all have? Is it a specific talent for people that have like a certain skill set? Or is it just like your environment that you grow up in, what you're exposed to? Or maybe it's none of those things. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Same reason some people can do a Rubik's Cube.
Autism.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
It's just we're just all on the spectrums. It's to different places. The spectrum's bigger than what they say it is. It's
wide. It's wide spectrum.
It's a wide base, and we're all on it. So figure out your slot. So what's this news you want to share? Josh has big news.
Do I have news?
You said last night you did.
Oh, I don't remember what it is.
I have exciting news.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I told you what the news was.
Oh, that was the news.
Yeah, that was the news. We feedback reached me. There is someone in the world that we did not specifically say watch this podcast that not only watches it, or not only has watched it, but I believe watches regularly. Or, well, I don't know about that. I just know we've got a fan,
and it's not our parents. And it's not our parents,
who I believe might be our one viewer. I think it might be my mom, because Shira sent her a link last night so that she could watch it.
I know my parents watch it.
Not live though.
No, they do. They tune in.
Oh, they do? Okay.
I've started. I've at one point it's like I let them know when we're doing this. I'd like send a text instead of just like scheduling it and getting notifications that it's live. It's like, nah, just tell them. Which I don't think that's how Ninja does it, but I think that's probably reasonable for us to do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let people who want to watch personally know every time.
Yeah, you got to. I'm finally starting to come around to the idea of the live show. I was explaining it to one of my buddies, my buddy Tommy, yesterday, because I was telling him to tune in as well. And I said, and he was like, so it's live? And I was like, yeah, just like Howard Stern. You tune in, it's live. Just us and Howard. We're the only ones out here doing live content.
We're regular Katie Couric and Matt Lauer over here. Just every morning.
Ooh.
Yeah. Little Hoda and Jenna.
Yeah. Today, I don't think they're problematic.
Today, third hour.
Matt Lauer turned out to be a bit of a monster, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But I was talking to Sarah about this. He did a good. Okay, Matt Lauer you're right. He's a monster, like terrible guy. Definitely should never work.
Yeah.
In any capacity, like he was.
One of the worst men in the public sphere of all time.
Tell you what, though, after that came out, he has been gone. You have not heard a thing from Matt Lauer since all of that shit went down. I think he did one interview, maybe with, I think Katie Couric interviewed him. Is
overseas
that right?
Or something, right? Yeah, because I think he went to Europe.
I don't know where. I have no idea where he went
to Europe. and just is like hanging out somewhere, I don't know, on the French Riviera where they don't really have morals or they don't care about, they're much more accepting about certain things over in Europe.
I know what you're talking about. I get it.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, like the Spain. Did you see what happened in Spain when Spain's women's team won the World Cup?
Yeah, that was bad.
It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. He's fighting it.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
You know what they should do? Here's what they should do. They should be like, you know what? Go kiss the captain of the men's team on the lips in front of everybody. Because I'm sure you would have done the same thing, right? If the men's team won the World Cup and he walked in front of you, you would have grabbed him by the head and kissed him on the lips.
Just planted one on him, planted a big wet sloppy one on him.
Yeah. You do that, we're all good. And we get it.
Yeah.
It's just a raw emotion. You like to kiss captains of soccer teams on the lips.
That's right. Right. You have this, you can't resist the urge. When the moment's right, you just got to kiss a captain.
Yeah. How else are you supposed to present your anyway?
You're recognizing Matt Lauer's ability to sort of hide in plain sight or just escape the backlash?
I don't think he escaped the backlash. I think that's the backlash is I believe a guy like Matt Lauer wants to work, right?
Yeah.
Like he wants to continue being.
He was exiled.
Yeah, I think his team was just like, dude, our nice team. He's like, I'm done, man. There's no coming back from this. And so I'm not gonna try, right? Like guys like Louis C.K. tried, and it's a little bit different. I mean, it's still kind of similar.
I don't know. There's levels to this. Louis C.K. what he did seemed to be a little less. I don't know. I don't want to get into how predatory Louis C.K.
Are we excusing Louis C.K. here because he makes you laugh? Is that all it takes?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, definitely not. Not officially. not on the record, but maybe. How long until you think Matt Lauer's back? He'll be back. Everyone comes back.
I don't think he will be. It's been a long time so far.
No, the American public is harsh but forgiving.
Not when it comes. Look, man.
Thing. And kids, you don't come back from kids.
Oh well, yeah. Well, fuck, man. Michael Jackson. Are you kidding me? Like at best, he was never gone.
Good point.
But Matt Lauer,
he'll come back.
He won't.
He will.
There's when it comes to daytime TV, and that's what he was good at. He wasn't like he wasn't doing like the Olympics, and he wasn't doing nightly news. So he was strictly a daytime TV host. And there's a billion of them waiting in the wings for the next slot to open up. They're not going to like bring someone back who's got a past.
You know what?
There's no chance. We never hear from him.
I read a book about the Today Show. Really interesting read. I think it's called The Morning Show, something like that. And there is just something that he was able to capture that the executives who were in charge of Good Morning America, the Today Show, all those morning shows couldn't quite explain, but was, I don't know, maybe he was like the Michael Jordan of morning TV.
He was great, man.
If Michael Jordan wants to come back, they take him. I'm telling you, they will. Think about like what Tucker Carlson's doing on Twitter. You don't think he could come back and do like a
different?
Yeah, different circumstances. But with Elon Musk owning Twitter, he is happy to give Matt Lauer a voice.
Matt Lauer isn't. No, sorry, it's different. Matt Lauer was not an investigative. He wasn't an entertainment political journalist. Entertainment.
He wasn't entertainment. I agree with that.
Tucker Carlson is a different. Once you started getting into like politics, entertainment, which is what Fox News is, and totally. And CNN. I mean, same.
Totally. Yeah, same thing.
That's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Like none of those people are doing anything else but that forever.
Yeah. He'll be back.
Tucker Carlson isn't going to show up and be like again, I always go back to the Olympics because NBC had the Olympics for so many years. But like
Matt
Tucker
Lauer
Carlson
did do
isn't
the
going to go.
Olympics.
I don't think he wasn't like the head guy. He wasn't like the Bob Costas host.
Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure he was. Well, first of all, they were paying him, I don't know, $20-30 million a year. I think they were getting their money's worth with him. He did Olympics coverage. You know who actually used to love Matt Lauer? My mom.
He used to do. Everyone used to love him. I used to love him. Everyone's mom used to love him. He was great.
Well, and that's what I think the magic was that he captured. He was just able to speak to. You know what I always think about? That interview he did with Tom Cruise. That was so weird.
That was a good one.
War of the Worlds press tour where Tom Cruise is like, yeah, that's what it was. Matt. You're smug. You're glib. You don't know about Ritalin. I do. I've done the research.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. Yes, You got it.
Thanks. I've watched it a lot of times on YouTube.
I didn't realize that was for a presser for the War of the Worlds.
There's a huge War of the Worlds picture, like poster behind them while they're having this conversation about Ritalin. Pretty great.
One other thing about Matt Lauer, he balded gracefully.
Well, I would say that he set the standard for what it is to bald gracefully. He may be the first to. I mean, he was a no doubt balder when he came on the scene, and he held on to what he had for a long time because he took advantage of the I'm only filmed from the front, right? He knew his angles.
He was a guy where it was going this way though, right? It wasn't like you.
Yeah, but I've got a big bald spot in the back.
Yeah, but at first, I guess everyone. It's not like you lose it straight. Some people probably do.
I did. Yeah, like I lost it more in my temples before I lost it on the old toppy top.
Yep, toppy top.
Yeah, but he did bald gracefully, and he looked good bald. I'm trying to think. He didn't shave his head towards the end. He just kept it really short, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But now he's probably got nothing. I don't know, man. If I'm on TV, I'm getting plugs every time. Plug me up. Plug me in and turn me loose. Right? Like what do you have to lose at that point? You're on TV for a living. No one thinks you look better bald. Plug it up. He might have gotten plugs actually if he was able to hold on to anything. Let's get some evidence here.
Yeah, let's start looking up Matt Lauer pictures.
Matt Lauer, male pattern baldness. Oh yeah.
So it looks like he co-hosted the opening ceremonies.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a
Today Show gig.
Okay,
it's the same thing.
You're not wrong.
And you made the point, like, people love Matt Lauer.
Look at the title of this on Hair Loss Daily. Forget about Matt Lauer's crimes. Let's talk about his hairline. That's exactly what we're doing.
Hair Loss Daily. Is that behind the paywall and you're a subscriber?
I'm a subscriber.
This article.
Yeah. Back to Lauer's balding.
Wait. Let's read the first part of this because it's probably good. Okay. Let's get where Robert Price is coming from.
Every time a bald or balding celebrity turns out to be a deviant or perv of the unacceptable variety, not the acceptable deviants and pervs, I'm thinking I should do a short post regarding their hair loss. And I suppose maybe I'll throw in a brief rant about the said celebrity public figure while I'm at it. Matt Lauer is the latest casualty of the Great Hollywood Purge of 2017 and the subject of this post. He's been balding since before some of you balding teenagers were born. He rocks the shave style with swag and sophistication. This isn't that interesting. He grabbed Katie Couric's ass and oh boy. All right, this is oh boy.
Is complimenting a woman's ass not even okay anymore? I guess not. Jesus Christ.
Boy, this guy
I can picture this guy. I can picture Robert Price.
Such behavior was considered kosher in 1985. Hell, even 2005.
Be careful out there.
I think it's time to move on from this article.
Yeah, really.
Just stick to the pictures. So let's see. You got some balding in the back there with George W. and Laura. His final resting place, follicularly and figuratively.
Jesus Christ.
What's the Norwood scale? Oh, boy.
Man, great. They did a really good job with the justification of all those pictures, making them all look the same.
Yeah, they really nailed it. Yeah, so this is what we're talking about here. I think I was in the 3 Vertex Club.
3, yeah. I was more... I don't really see mine. Maybe 5.
5? Yeah, that's what I was going to say for yours. 5.
I still have like the same hairline.
Yeah, you do. Weird. Yours is a weird one.
Just like slowly.
Yeah.
I need to cut my hair.
I honestly believe that you may have done that to yourself.
Maybe.
I mean, would that make it harder for you?
No, I think it was coming out. I think it was always going to happen. There was hair in the drains. There was hair in the drains from the time I was in high school.
Hair in the drains.
It wasn't my, and then in college and everything, like it was my hair. So whatever. I did it to myself. That's fine. I'll tell you what, my hair, when it's longer, is just unruly. I can't deal with it. It wasn't professional, and it looked like shit when it was like a normal length. Hair in the drains. That's it. All right. Funniest disease on 3.
Okay, I'm ready. Count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Spina bifida.
Spina bifida is definitely not as funny as gout.
I don't even know what spina bifida is, but what a name. Spina bifida. Spina bifida. Now, are you talking about just the name of the disease or the symptoms of the disease?
Everything. When I think of diseases that are funny, it's gout.
I mean, gout is funny. I remember the show about who's the Mongol who killed half of the world? Genghis Khan. There was a show about Kublai Khan, and he had gout. And like they would show him this like fearsome warrior, and then he would be like, "Oh, I have the gout," and it was really funny. Like he couldn't go places because he had gout.
Yeah, he's like, I can't take over. I can't conquer today. I had shrimp last night. I had shrimp Napoleon. I had oysters Rockefeller, and now I can't go conquer today. I gotta rest my gout.
What's with those old timey food names? Oysters Rockefeller, Clams Casino, Beef Wellington,
Baked Alaska. I love it. I think I use Baked Alaska every time we're like, you go into a white tablecloth restaurant. It's like they probably got Baked Alaska here.
I bet you they got Clams Casino on this menu. I'm gonna tell you right now. Right. They have it.
I'll tell you what they got down at the I don't know. You just come up like Caruso's. You gotta order. You gotta order the lava cake at dinner time because it takes 45 minutes to make. If you want that for dessert, you gotta tell them now.
You got to tell them at the beginning of the meal. While we order the Clams Casino, you got to think about the lava cake.
Yeah.
What the hell is Clams Casino? It makes me think about clams like playing roulette or craps.
It's either that or clams in a casino all-you-can-eat buffet, which is another thing you want to talk about. Which which is gross. That's what I think of, like a casino buffet clams.
I just typed in Clams Casino cartoon to see if I could find anything, but it doesn't look like anyone's visualized what I see. which is clams in a casino.
Playing games.
There is this, however. I mean, this is something.
Yes,
it's a game. It's a game. Frankenstein. This stoner down here. You got a pop icon, the Birdman from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I don't know. I'm not allowed to say what that is. And then you have a Ozzy Osbourne type.
Yeah, Weird
Al. The whole gang is there
at the Clams Casino.
So gout is the funniest disease. I don't know. Yeah. I think that spina bifida might be actually something like really horrible.
Yeah, right. That's why it's not funny.
But like, is it you have bifida of the spine?
I don't know, dude.
Like, is it you have a bifida? Like, could I have like a knee bifida or a leg bifida, or is it only spina bifida?
I don't know.
You're just into gout.
Gout's definitely the funniest, and I don't want to hear otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't really.
It's completely self-inflicted.
Is it really?
And yeah, I didn't know get that. Gout when you eat. It's the king's disease. That's what they call it.
That's how Kublai Khan got it.
Only rich people get gout because they eat too many shellfish.
Is that really what it's caused by?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Like anchovies. I had a friend who was like, he got really into anchovies and he got gout.
Really? And then once you have it, are you stuck with it?
You gotta, yeah. I mean, you can't eat it. Like once you stop eating anchovies and shrimp and mussels, it goes away. It's like there's like, yeah, it's tough, right? But again, if you are of the person, be like, man, I love shrimp cocktails too much. I gotta test it.
This is one of the perks of growing up kosher. No risk of gout because shellfish is not kosher.
Very little gout in the Jewish community.
Very little gout. I bet you there is very little gout in the Jewish community because of that reason.
Same. Possible.
All right. You already parlayed into it. We were texting about this earlier this week. R.I.P. Parrot Head Nation, Jimmy Buffett. Never for 1 minute in my life have I felt like Jimmy Buffett was deserving of the level of fame he achieved, or any level of fame for that matter. He it seems to be completely devoid of talent. His music isn't good. I mean, it's not bad. It's just what I would expect if I went to, I don't know, Key West on a Wednesday night to the local bar that has live music. I would expect to hear something very similar, no better, no worse. And I'd be happy with that at the time. But to tell me that the man became a billionaire off the music that he made is fascinating.
So I want to make an important distinction here. I respect Jimmy Buffett, the businessman. I do not. I do not. His music is lazy white people beach music. It's the worst.
It really is. It's an acoustic guitar, maybe a drum and a bass. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Like I get it's feel good music, but there's a lot of that out there, right? Like, I don't know. The Beach Boys made white people beach music that was iconic and incredible and filled with creativity. Jimmy Buffett did not do that.
Jimmy Buffett sucks, man.
He does. I don't get the appeal. I don't understand. I'm happy for him that he was a billionaire, right? Am I making that up?
I don't know. He's got to, I mean, he didn't have to worry about how much the price of eggs went up at the grocery store.
Yeah.
There's nothing he didn't have.
Index. Yeah. He was a billionaire. He was a billionaire.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. You know, it's funny if we have like multiple days worth of meetings next to each other at the office, people stay overnight at Margaritaville because it's right across the street from our office. It's the closest hotel.
It's a hotel?
Yeah. It's a hotel in Times Square. It is. Yeah. It's Margaritaville in Times Square. It's a hotel, and it's on theme.
Let's take a look at those
yet,
rooms.
But I definitely will be at some point.
Margaritaville Hotel. Yeah. I mean, listen, you gotta to be a billionaire, you're not just touring, right? You're not just playing music. You've got to have other shit you have other irons in the fire. Irons in the fire. Like a hotel chain.
Yeah, you got to have irons in the fire. I think he had so he had the restaurants, he had his music. I don't know how else he made money. But he must have.
He have if he didn't have a margarita blender, branded margarita like blender, I'd be shocked.
What did Jimmy Buffett have?
Like he sold it at like Sur La Table.
Oh, yeah. If he didn't have a Buffett's best blender.
Jimmy Buffett businesses, Margaritaville brand. Okay.
Yep.
T-shirt shop. Here, before we get off this, because I want to make sure. This is why I hate Jimmy Buffett. So he reminds you of like going to a bar at the beach, and you're sitting there and you're having a drink and talking, whatever, and then all of a sudden some dickhead starts playing music and ruins it.
It's so true. It's so true.
I can't talk. You're forced now to listen to someone playing the acoustic guitar and singing songs that they didn't write.
This happened to us recently. We went to there's a nice restaurant by us in Montclair that has like a beautiful overview, and you can see the skyline of Manhattan from here, which is about 13 miles away. It's really cool. And we had a reservation, and they were like, "Do you want to sit in the bar lounge area, or do you want to sit at a table?" And we asked what the difference was, and she said, "Well, tonight there's music in the bar area." Oops, you with me?
Yep.
He said there's music in the bar area, and so she walks us to our table, and it's right in front of a guy with a keyboard and a microphone who's singing like Sinatra songs at full volume. And we're like, why would anybody want to sit there? Because this guy's so incredible, and we just want to listen to him shout at it in our heads like all night without being able to speak to each other. Sweet. Sounds awesome. Sign me up. Live music in restaurants never goes as well as I think they hope it does.
Never.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That's Jimmy Buffett's music, man. They sing his songs. I can't imagine having gone to a bar in the last week and enjoyed myself because it would have just been Jimmy Buffett songs, which I didn't like when Jimmy Buffett sang them.
Right. So I'm definitely not going to like it when some schmuck sings them. Do you think you would have enjoyed yourself at a Parrot Head concert?
At a certain point in life, yeah. I went to a Kenny. Who did I go see? Oh man.
Yeah, I went to the Kenny Chesney concert in Pittsburgh one year.
I think I went to see him in DC. There's a big like Star Lake amphitheater type of place outside of DC.
Star Lake.
It was the Nissan Pavilion. Way worse name.
Star Lake is an interesting place. 1 2-lane road in and out for a concert venue.
Yeah, right. They all do. They all seem to have the same sort of exit plan, which is just funnel them all into the a crushed pavement road. It's never paved, and we'll park your cars in the field, and then no one gets out.
Yeah,
you'll be last, no matter where you park. You're last. I don't think I went to see Jimmy Buffett though. I can't remember who it was. I think it was like Kenny Chesney, which is the same sort of thing, right?
It really is. It's the exact same thing, and it's just as horrible. It's just as offensive to my creative sensibilities as Jimmy Buffett. Like Jimmy Buffett's success, I take as an affront. It's a slap in the face.
Yeah. I don't. He makes here's how I've described this, and I've used this for other people when I hear their music. Jimmy Buffett makes music for people who hate music.
Yeah. I like that. I've had a different analogy. I call it the McDonald's of music. You know exactly what you're going to get every time. It's never going to challenge your taste buds to try something new or feel something different.
And it's cheap.
And no matter where you are, you can have the same experience. So yeah, and it's cheap, right? It is the like I can't. It's not even music. I mean, I guess it is music, but it really isn't. There's not a performative nature to it. It's just I don't know, simple noise for simple people. If you like Jimmy Buffett, you're a simpleton. Let's face it.
That's how you know.
There's not a lot going on in your life.
You're not complex people like Josh and I. The
deep layered.
I heard something that was like, he brought people together. Like, yeah. So did the Insane Clown Posse, and they continue to do so every year. Like, if that's the bar, then there's other bands. Literally, there's a bunch of bands. Yeah, the Juggalos get together every year and discuss that kind of stuff.
Can I say I think Insane Clown Posse's music was kind of good. Like I
never got into it. The
little bit that I listened to, I was like, okay, I'm clearly not going to follow this band because of the losers that do, and like there's just a whole vibe that I don't want to get involved in. But this is like, I get it. It's hip hop for angry white people.
Oh yeah,
it's that sound. It's not bad. All right,
You're an angry white guy.
Who wins the battle of the Buffets? If we're ranking,
I think we've established that Jimmy Buffett's definitely last. Rest in peace.
Jimmy's last. Who else? There's more than just Jimmy, Warren, and All You Can Eat, right?
Let's find out.
Michael Buffer, can we throw him in there?
No,
but we should.
Sure can't.
He's great. Like, talk about do one thing and do it well. Michael Buffer.
He's so good he's so good that his brother got famous.
Yeah, Jimmy, right?
Jimmy? Bruce Buffer.
That's right. Jimmy Buffer. Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffer. Yeah, that guy. No, it's Michael Buffer. I assume still does.
Who's the one that does all the UFC now? That's Bruce.
Yeah.
So it could be actually more famous than Michael was, right?
Today, yeah.
Does he say now? Which one says, "Let's get ready to rumble"?
That's the original line. That's Michael Buffer.
So what does Bruce say?
I don't know that he has. He might. I don't watch USC. So I don't know. But I know that he does the introductions. He's really good at them. He is. I mean, those guys know how to fucking get a crowd ready to go.
They really do. Like I wonder what was going on at the Buffer household that created such a skill set.
It's just There's a lot of volume, man. You had to raise your voice to be heard in that household. It's probably a terrible upbringing.
From that crucible, 2 stars are born.
Wonder if they have a third brother.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffer. He's like, no. And he just goes through life being like, no, I'm
super
quiet.
Jimmy
Buffer, not Buffett. No, different guy.
He was the quiet, bookish one. He doesn't maybe he has the gift if he were to explore it, but he's never gone there. That's his brother's thing. He's something different. All right. Who else is there? Jimmy, Warren.
I typed in Buffett, and those are the only two that come. It's obviously the Google results are heavily skewed to Jimmy Buffett right now, but
sure.
Warren Buffett gets the top billing for people because he's still alive for now. He's 93 years old.
Rank these 3: All You Can Eat Buffet, Warren Buffett, Jimmy Buffett.
Yes. No. All You Can Eat. Number 1, of course.
All You Can Eat. What about brunch buffet versus dinner buffet? What about
Yeah.
Phoebe Buffet?
I think buffets are perfect for breakfast. Kind of weird for dinner.
Yeah. What about Old Country Buffet?
Place that was, I think everyone always knew that it was kind of shit, but at a certain, when in high school, it's like, it's kind of funny. Like it always has like
because it was in a strip mall in Bridgeville.
a connotation
Yeah.
that exceeded its actual legitimacy as a place to eat.
My buddy Max's dad has the best line for this. He said, "It's not good food, but they give you a lot of it."
Yeah. That's pretty much every buffet.
Yeah.
But Old Country really leans into that.
Yeah.
The Old Country Buffet. I went to Vegas. We ate at the
yeah, that's where you'll get the good buffets. Bellagio, I think that's what you're getting at.
I mean, still, it's not good.
I disagree with that one. The Bellagio buffet might be the only buffet that I would seek out and return to. I mean, they had shrimp, although watch out because you'll get the gout.
Beware gout.
But they had Clams Casino, shrimp, lobster
Oysters
Napoleon,
Oysters Rockefeller, and Baked Alaska. Yeah. We had a Baked Alaska not recently, not too long ago.
What is it?
It's like it's not marshmallow. It's not like marshmallow fluff, but it's like that kind of.
I'll tell you what I think it is, like, just by
like
the
whipped
name.
cream.
I thought it was fish baked in dough.
It's a dessert.
Is it really?
Yeah. And they bring it out, and here's why it's like the perfect white tablecloth dessert, because it comes out and it's like a marshmallow kind of whipped cream, and there's something in the middle, and I think it's maybe a little bit of chocolate. I don't know, but it comes out in like this big. It looks like an iceberg, and then they pour rum over it and lay it on fire at your table. So it's like it's a presentation.
Kind of like Bananas Foster.
Exactly. Another great white tablecloth.
I love Bananas Foster though. I love Bananas Foster. That's a good dessert. What's your favorite dessert? Do you have a favorite dessert? I have a couple.
Man, when it comes to desserts,
there's certain things I will never touch. Like I'm never going to order a piece of chocolate cake. Never. I like chocolate cake, but it's not my favorite. There's a restaurant called the Odeon that is a special place for Allison and I, and they serve an ice cream sundae. When I say an ice cream sundae on the dessert, so I have a couple things for dessert menus, a couple of strongly held beliefs. One, if there's an ice cream sundae, it's probably going to be great. And I don't think I've been let down. My second thing with dessert menus is, and it's remarkably consistent. I've just taught this to Allison, and like she hates all of my little theories. She doesn't hate them. She just thinks that, maybe for the first 6 months of us dating, they were interesting. And now maybe she's grown a little weary of hearing them.
She's over it.
But every now and again, I'll slip one past her and she'll be like, okay, you're onto something here. So most dessert menus have one standout item that looks like it doesn't belong, right? It'll be like chocolate cake, tiramisu. What else is like always on a dessert menu? And then there'll be one that says brambleberry baked fig crisp. And you look at it and you're like, that's always the dessert you should order. The one that seems completely out of place because it's the one that restaurant does well. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on the menu because no one would order it because it sounds so weird and no one's ever heard of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Little tip for you out there in dessert.
No, I agree with that.
All you sweet tooths.
When I go out and eat, and when we're going to a good restaurant, I try to order not just for dessert but for the entire meal. Like shit, I don't make at home. Like I can make a steak. My steaks are great, but I don't want a steak. Like when we go out,
your steaks are great. I'm still trying to replicate what you've done, and it's way harder than I thought. but you've got something there.
Do you not have a sous vide?
I got one because of the experience I had at your house. I mean, the steak I had at your house was better than any steak I've had in a restaurant, which is
thank you.
Not only so far above what my expectations were, but like who can say that? Who can say the best steak I ever had was at my friend's house? You go over to someone's house and they tell you you're making steak, and you brace yourself for a leather. Best case scenario, you're getting something on the grill, but most likely you're getting something that's not prepared. Nothing like what you would get in a restaurant, but yours was better. It was really, it blew me away.
Thank you. It's good. And yeah, it's all about the technique. I remember, and maybe this is how it was in your house growing up, but we had steaks growing up and it was
bad.
Well done. Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think my mom was looking out for our health, which is what she should have been doing, and not feeding a medium rare steak to an 11-year-old. But at the same time, it wasn't until my dad took me to a place in Aliquippa called the Lebanese Club, where they have raw meat on the menu. It's called raw kibbeh, and it's delicious. They make it with some kind of wheat germ, and that makes it safe to eat. But once I got the taste for blood and flesh, I had a completely new palate.
No more fins curled up at the edges because they're well done New York strips
with ketchup or steak sauce.
Yeah, A1.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it was in our household too. I think that's how it is for all kids.
When I go to restaurants, I want to order things that I don't know how to make. And so a lot of fish, just depending on like what it is, like what you just said, like the thing that kind of stands out and it doesn't look normal. Like it's not a typical, okay, we got to have a steak on the menu because someone's going to not want all the other stuff. So we just got to have a steak, got to have a chicken. If it's prepared differently, like I'm into that. And so for dessert or that's
cool.
That's what I get.
That's cool, man. It's a great theory. I like that. Now I see what Allison
That's
feels.
what you just said. That's what you just said.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but mine was somehow better or more interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I get it, but like, why wouldn't you want to go? I guess. So what you're saying is like you've mastered the steak at home, so why order it in a restaurant? Because they won't do it as well.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not that good of a cook. So for me to get something that I make at home, I'm like, oh, well, this is what it's supposed to taste like.
I'll tell you what, that's something you should work on, because it's amazing to be like, you go to a restaurant and be like, I'm not going to get this because I make the best version of this. I am not searching for a better version of the thing I already know how to make.
It's crazy because I grew up, my mom is such a good cook. Like I grew up eating such good, and she made food. She was really good about making us meals every night. And like, I haven't got that bug yet. I'm waiting for it to come, because I know I'll go really deep into it and I'll enjoy it, but it just hasn't caught on with me yet. And I hope it does, because it feels like immature not to be able to make myself like a really good prepared meal. I mean, I can make certain things, but nothing impressive.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be. I'm not good at like making the meal, right? Like I don't know how that doesn't make any sense.
No, I get you. You can make the entree, but not the meal.
I'm really good at protein, right? Like I can make the protein perfectly.
Very masculine of you.
But yeah, like the side dishes, I'm just never gonna be a part of.
Yeah, I don't. That nonsense. Listen, man. Draw the line. You gotta draw the line somewhere. You're a man. All right. Your job is not to make mashed potatoes and green beans. It's to make the meat.
Yeah, green beans. Green beans. What are green beans? I hate green beans. I'll eat them, but I eat them first. I get them over with. Like I put them on my plate and I eat them. Then they're gone, and I don't have to think about it, and I can enjoy the rest of the meal.
Wow,
that's always at home. I will not order green beans.
Really, I like them. I like green beans if they're done right. You get them with a little balsamic, maybe a little red pepper.
Balsamic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think. Yeah, vinegar. Yeah, they're good. You can't just eat plain ass green beans on a plate. That's ridiculous. Got to season.
That's how there's. Put some butter on them and some salt, maybe. But and again, but it's just something about it. Just
butter.
I'll tell you
and
what.
Here will get you through pretty much anything.
It will. Maybe even a little garlic. Come on.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I totally lost my train of thought thinking about butter, salt, and garlic.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? The smell of garlic. That's like my memory of childhood. When I smell that garlic, that brings back the memories. Those were the good old days. Man, what I wouldn't give to have a personal chef. I'm trying to turn Allison into that, but it's not going. It's not as easy as I don't know how my dad did it. I got to ask him. I got to ask him what his secrets are.
Well, keep trying. I'm sure it'll break at some point.
Yeah. I mean, my theory, like my plan is anytime she's like, I'm too tired to make dinner tonight. Maybe she commuted in and out on the train. I'm like, yeah, let's just get takeout. Because she hates takeout. Like she doesn't want to get takeout for health reasons. Like she's very educated about nutrition and like knows what to eat. Whether, I'm not saying she always makes perfect choices, but none of us do. But like she knows all that stuff. So she doesn't want to waste calories on things like the food was prepared in a shitty oil, right? Because we can make it much cleaner at home and enjoy it and not have to have all the guilt. So that's my plan. It's a war of attrition, right? Oh yeah, you don't want to cook? Well, guess what? Takeout.
Because I'm not cooking.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
You've eaten my
sometimes
food.
I do. Yeah. I'm not that bad of a cook. I think she would much rather me cook than make takeout. But it's not a very wide berth. Great on the grill.
Well, that's the thing. So
in other areas,
I mean, you can use the grill to make anything, and then just add whatever you want to it, right?
You know what I use the grill for a lot is reheating pizza. Really, really good. I mean, you got to be careful that the cheese doesn't drip down in the grate because it will like smoke forever. But if you're good about it, like you get a little, because it crisps up the bottom of the pizza. The worst thing about leftover pizza is that it's soggy, right? But it crisps up the bottom and gives it that nice tensile strength. And then, you eat it.
I really dislike leftover pizza.
Yeah, I do
to
too.
The point where I'll be like, you know what? Fan. I got one slice left. I'm just going to eat it tonight because I don't want it tomorrow. I already know I don't want it tomorrow.
I mean, leftover pizza. Like if we get pizza on the weekend, we used to do pizza night every Friday night, but we stopped doing that now because we're watching our figures. If we get pizza on the weekend, like Monday or Tuesday afternoon when I'm home, working from home, it's pretty great lunch. It's easy.
Oh yeah.
And like it's much better than whatever else I was going to make in the 10 minutes I had. You know what I mean?
It's easy. Yeah.
It's very easy and it tastes.
You order pizza. It's easy. It's easy to make.
It's very easy to make. You just put it in the oven, Rich, or on the grill.
The putting stuff on the grill. So that's what we'll do, right? Like tonight, I'm gonna grill something. I'll probably get some steak, grill it, and then you can add it to let me just make a salad out of it, right? Now you have protein onto your salad, and that's it. I have started. So here's another thing. The older I get, the more I want my food lukewarm and not hot.
How old
I
are
do
you?
not. I'm pushing Jimmy Buffett's age.
You've always had this sort of 70-year-old man inside of you, even from like very young. Well,
we all do.
Yeah.
It's the Western Pennsylvania in us.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so tell me about this. You want lukewarm food? So
okay, I don't want it hot, right? I don't want to eat hot food. If it's a soup, that's one thing. But if it's like a meal, then I don't want it.
This is like a Larry David in you coming. I don't want it. A soup, of course. The soup's going to be hot. but I don't want it. You know what? Now that I think about it, I wonder if that's so. Allison loves to couple of things. If she cooks, you better be there when it's done and ready.
Sure. Oh well, like, yeah, that's just common courtesy shit.
Well, let's not. You, Allison, don't watch that. That's not true. It's not common courtesy. Everyone has their own rhythm in the day. But like a lot of times, because I work out in the afternoon, like I'll shower, she'll get dinner ready, I'll come in and help at the end. But sometimes I don't hit that. I don't hit that mark. And if that meal sits there, I'm not going to enjoy the rest of my day. Maybe not my week. It just depends. So I got to be there. And I talked about her with her once, and she said it wasn't the effort thing. It was that she likes to have her meal when it's hot, like piping hot and ready. She wants it hot, hot, hot. I don't love that. So I'll try to like kill time. I'll get up and get something. We need napkins.
Oh, you're being
A1,
okay.
A1 steak sauce.
You're being restless.
Letting the food cool down a little bit.
Well, you don't have to eat it hot, but you have to be there. You have to be sitting there. You can't listen. And when you're cooking, it's because you're hungry.
Right.
You should be. And so that just heightens all of the anticipation, which I get.
It raises the stakes considerably.
I'm with Allison on this one.
I figured you would be.
Do not be late if someone else is cooking for you.
Yeah,
you live with that person.
Yeah, it's probably a good plan.
And you're connected through marriage legally.
So you believe that lukewarm food is better?
I just think it is, man. If you go to a restaurant, you don't get hot food. You think about it. Like it doesn't come out steaming for the most, unless you get fucking fajitas from TGI Fridays.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it depends on the restaurant, right? Depends how busy they are. Sometimes they bring it out, and it's hot.
I don't think so. I don't think it's ever too hot to eat. When I say hot, I mean like right, like you're gonna like blow on it. Like they don't serve food like that. Maybe at the hack ass restaurants you go to that don't have baked Alaska. You go to TGI Fridays, get chicken fingers.
Yeah. Those come out right out of the fryer.
Yeah. Yeah, fried food's got to be borderline too hot. But
McDonald's, I don't know, you have to eat hot, because once McDonald's gets lukewarm, it becomes a different food product altogether.
Yeah. I try to I'll eat McDonald's if I'm going to play golf or something. Maybe I'll stop and get an egg McMuffin, but that's about it.
I would say 95% of my McDonald's trips are right before golf. The other 5% are road trips.
Yeah, we've kind of aged out of getting lunch or dinner at McDonald's. Talk about if you're really looking to be good, you can't ever go to a McDonald's and eat.
I have this thing where, like, if I have a really bad day, once a year, I'll be like, okay, today's the day. And I'll go get a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke. And
sure.
And it'll be like, okay, well, this is my worst day of the year, but I'm going to give myself a little something. Little reward, little treat. What else do we have on the docket today? See.
What else do we have? Yeah, we texted about this.
NFL predictions? Are you into that or no?
My mom texted. She said she's the one watching. There's two people watching now.
Mrs. Strayer?
All caps. I'm the one watching.
I like that. She's making sure that you hear her. That's like, I read that as I'm the one watching. If it's in all caps, it's not I'm the one watching. It's no, you dummies. I'm the one watching.
I said that.
If you're still watching, let me know if I read that correctly. Okay, NFL.
Yeah, I don't follow it close enough to know who's even good. To be honest with you, I don't know. Every once in a while, I'll get like a feed and it's like, the Bills, and I'm like, really? The Bills are good now? I mean, I know that they made the playoffs, but or like the Like I have no idea who's going to be good this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, that's why America needs to hear your voice on this matter. Who's going to win it all?
See,
Super
NFL
Bowl
predictions.
Something 50 something. You know what I hate? They stopped making unique Super Bowl logos. What a miss.
Totally agree.
Because like the place that's hosting the Super Bowl is more than happy to dedicate the time and resources to creating a logo.
Yep.
Every Super Bowl, like I've seen people who have pins. I think Shira has pins from Super Bowls, and like they're all unique. It's so cool. Florida's
totally
got some
agree.
Oranges in it, like what the hell?
Like New Orleans always had like the masks, the Mardi Gras masks, and the band like ribbons and stuff.
Do you think it's because they ran out of places to have a Super Bowl, and like we're just having them in the same 15 places? So why are we creating new logos?
I remember Super Bowl 23.
Oh man, that Super Bowl 30 is such a great logo.
Nice.
So was Super Bowl extra large.
Yeah, that one was cool. I remember 20. I'm trying to think here.
23. So
like
23
30
right here. This one.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm not. So 23 and 24 were when my dad was working for the guy who owned the 49ers.
Yeah,
so I remember those
49ers. That's right.
And they won both of those. Like
yeah,
super. Like look at let me make my screen bigger.
Here, do you want to show yours?
20. No. I'm looking at yours. Go back to yours.
Okay. All right, sorry.
I just had to make my screen bigger so I could see them.
Gotcha.
Like Super Bowl 20. I bet I can tell where they were based on the logo, right? Like 27
was definitely Florida.
27 was
the Rose Bowl.
Exactly. Yep, Florida.
Yeah. Dude, look at Super Bowl 3. That is great.
Man, 1 through 8 really just different fonts.
Yeah. But in 7 they were like, you know what we're going to do this year? Shadow.
We're going to do 6, but we're going to add 1 and we're going to make it a shadow. Super Bowl 9 is sick. Look at that X.
Super Bowl 9. Yeah, that was the Steelers.
Super Bowl 12.
Yeah, that's great. I bet you that's New Orleans because of the purple and the gold.
I agree with you, man. I don't know why
this is a
XLV. And you know what? On the same sort of vein, the NCAA basketball tournament used to have unique courts for every location for at least the first round. Maybe the Sweet 16 places as well. They've taken all that away and now made it just the same everywhere. So you have no idea where you're watching. Like it sucks, man. I don't get it.
This was
I don't understand the decision.
I remember this one. I think Shira has this pin, or she had like a t-shirt or something. This was also, that was 2000. So that was the Ravens. Atlanta. That's a cool one though. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
And the Tempe, Arizona 130 was like the Aztec.
Yep.
I think part of the problem is like, I love that Super Bowls are keeping Roman numerals relevant.
So there was one in New York. Was it 33?
No, it was later than that. It was recently. It was like it was one of these.
You sure?
I mean,
maybe it was.
I think it happened while I was living here.
38?
38.
I'm just trying to
this one?
No, the one before that.
No, this is 44. This is 43. 38 would be right here.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, 30. Well, 38 that looks like an orbit. So I'm guessing that was Houston.
Yeah, right. Good call.
What was 30?
There's a lighthouse. Right? Yeah, I can see it. It says San Diego. It's hard to read, but I can see it.
Okay.
This one was New Orleans. Look at that, America. That's so cool. Super Bowls those Roman numerals are just dashing across America.
I think they changed that one right after 9/11.
This one.
Does that make sense?
Was it the Twin Towers?
Yes. So 2000. Really?
Oh, you're
So
talking about the New York
2000
one.
No. The one you just were looking at, the New Orleans one.
Why would New Orleans have a picture of the Twin Towers?
No, they didn't. They don't have a picture of the Twin Towers, but it's the picture of America because that's the first Super Bowl after 9/11.
Got it. No,
They
I
changed
think this was
the logo.
2005?
No, it's not. It's
I can see
after
it.
2000.
Oh, you're right. It's 2002. You're right. I'm sorry.
But that would have been January 2002
Yeah,
or
you're
February.
Right. You're right. Yep. Good call.
I think I remember that happened. And I wonder what the original logo was. So what was that?
Yeah.
Super Bowl 36.
36, yeah. Yeah, it's a good, wow, very perceptive.
I remember that happening. Okay, so here's what it used to look like. Well, yeah, I'll pull it up.
I'm curious to see this because I think it's interesting. There's like a bunch of movie posters that changed, and some of them seemed kind of innocuous after 9/11. I guess better safe than sorry, but it like had a ripple wave on the design world. That's the real victim of 9/11. All the designers who had made logos that then had to change them.
This is a very New Orleans logo, right?
Yeah. Now
they changed it to this.
Right. So it wasn't that this one was unacceptable or in bad taste. It just was an opportunity to create some patriotism.
Yep.
Hold on. I want to read the comments here. The original logo looking like whoever designed it was 100 into Survivor in the early 2000s.
TOO.
Oh, 2 into Survivor. Okay. Not sure if I understand that.
IDK, really my first thought was New Orleans and Mardi Gras.
These are important conversations, not only to have, but to memorialize in perpetuity. We need to always be able to refer back to these leading minds in America commenting on the Super Bowl logo change in 2001.
Kenobenator.
I think that's an Obi-Wan Kenobi reference.
Completely shares our perspective on this. I really miss when Super Bowl logos have personality. All the post 51s are just big letters next to a Lombardi. Agreed.
It's exactly what they are. He described it very well. They are just big letters next to a Lombardi trophy.
Logan Paul was taken underscores. I heavily disagree. I think 45, 49 are awful, and the ones after 50 are semi-interesting.
Logan Paul was taken.
Yeah.
You can't even distinguish between the difference between 52 and 53 from afar. Insightful.
Deleted. Oh man. So wait, I want to know what the New York.
I'm almost positive it was one of the banal new ones. And it was technically in New Jersey. But I think it was Super Bowl 48.
This is it.
Was it 48?
48. Yep.
Yeah.
Real stinker of a game. Jesus.
Yeah. And I remember it was like they were talking about how it was going to be a cold weather game and how we're in bad weather. And it ended up being like 70 degrees on a Sunday in February in New Jersey.
What do you think the NFL is going to?
It was bizarrely warm. It was like warm and rainy. It was such a weird day. So
obviously they control the weather. Bunch of billionaires out there.
They wanted it to be cold. That was like the story was like, now these players are finally not going to be playing the Super Bowl, on turf in Miami where it's perfect. It's going to be tricky for them.
You believe that?
I think that's exactly why they did it and why they haven't done it again, because it wasn't cold.
Oh man, I'm really hoping for a Blizzard Super Bowl.
Why wouldn't they be? That's great TV, man. Watching these guys freeze their asses off, Ice Bowl, that would be great. NFL likes that kind of. You see, you don't have a marketing mind like I do. I'm seeing the bigger picture.
The Super Bowl is almost not an NFL game. It is so different from everything. Literally, even the week prior, the championship games,
which is the best football gets.
The season ticket holders are at those games. No fans of the team obviously there's fans of the team that are there.
No, I completely agree. Having been to a Super Bowl, both of us, it is a corporate event.
I've never been.
I thought you went back in the day with your dad.
No,
he went.
They went. My parents both went to both of those.
I'm
My
sure
dad's actually got a funny story. So it's, and I might be leaving out some of the details. One of those was in New Orleans. I think it was 23. And he worked for Power Burst, which was, it sounds insane today. A Gatorade competitor. A Gatorade competitor. Someone was going to take down Gatorade.
Yeah, but Gatorade wasn't Gatorade back then.
Right. So it made there was a business case to be made.
Right.
And he said that they had some Power Burst coolers that they wanted to put on the field
to get on TV.
Get on TV. And so the day before the game, he was walking. They just kind of like were hanging out by the loading dock or something. And some guy came out with a badge that said he, gave him access. And he's like, "Hey, can we get that badge from you?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And he took it off and gave it to him. And him and his buddy, and they took these coolers in and just put them in around. And they were still there for the game the next day.
That is awesome. That is like, imagine how much fun we would have if we were starting a business. And like, that's the kind of stuff that makes me want to start my own business. That is so cool. That is so cool. Like guerrilla marketing right there.
I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the energy for guerrilla marketing.
No, you don't want to be.
I'll leave that up to you.
Style. That's cool, man. I like that a lot. I think that's a great story. It's super creative,
but anyway,
too.
Back to the Super Bowl. So do you
think we'd be able to find them? Do you think we could find footage of the Super Bowl and see if they're there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not right now, probably. I'm sure that'd be. But here's my point about you keep the owner's like, nah, we're gonna have a cold weather Super Bowl. Like, no, you really don't want that to happen. I promise that you don't. None of them.
Why would they have it in New York in the winter?
Because it was a story, like it hype. Thank God they had nothing else going for them that game. 43-8. Are you kidding me? It sucked. The game was over.
They will never have it here again. It was not a good experience for the NFL.
Okay, perfect. So, but it would have been a worse experience if the weather was shit.
I disagree.
That's my
Snow
point.
would have been perfect.
All those corporate sponsors sitting outside in 10-degree weather. You think they would have been into it? Like there would have been empty seats
sitting outside.
There would have been empty seats everywhere on the broadcast. It would have been miserable. They got lucky.
Would not have been there's not empty seats in Lambeau when the Packers are playing week 2. Why would there be empty seats for the Super Bowl?
Because the people who fucking go to the games at Lambeau are fans of the Packers.
Right. Okay. All right. I get what you're saying now.
They're not the corporate COO of some company. I don't know who doesn't give a shit either way.
I'm not sitting here for this. Yeah, I get your point. I'd still disagree, but I understand your point.
And I don't know what the halftime show was, but I'm sure it wouldn't have worked out as well if it was fucking slippery on the stage.
What if it was like Ice Capades? Could have been Ice Capades.
That was the backup. That was the backup for let's see. It just sucks. It sucks that they only have them in like 4 places anymore.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl sucks, man. I watch it every year, but it's just noticeably a different vibe than any of the playoff games before that. The 2014 Farmer's Almanac predicted a winter storm would hit just about the time Super Bowl 48 kicked off.
Farmer's Almanac's never wrong.
It's never wrong.
They use all of the meteorological instruments at their disposal. Like, are the cows sitting down?
Right.
How much water is left in the well?
Was it cold? Was it cold last year? Yes or no? That's the decision tree of the Farmer's Almanac.
If yes,
then maybe.
Then maybe. Yeah, it could be. It's already happened once.
Yeah, there's some precedent there that it's been cold. Fox studio analyst Terry Bradshaw stated he opposes the idea of a cold Super Bowl, stating, "I don't want it to be bad. What if we get 2 passing teams?"
Terry makes a good
Great
point.
soundbite there.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, chances of getting two passing teams in the Super Bowl right now in the NFL are pretty good.
Halftime show.
The league's gone to a passing league. All right, let me see if I can remember who it was. The halftime show was someone stupid. I don't remember being excited about it. Lady Gaga is my guess. No, because her halftime show was great with the drones.
I'll tell you what. Okay, so I know I looked it up.
Okay.
It was one of the better halftime shows I'd ever seen to that point.
So was it Lady Gaga?
No.
Was it Michael Jackson? Because that was good. Oh, was it? No, it wasn't Eminem and Snoop. That was just last year. Wasn't Bruno Mars?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yes.
Bruno Mars.
He was great.
He is great, man. He's a little firecracker. He's an entertaining guy.
Yeah. And I guess the Red Hot Chili Peppers were there.
Performing?
Red Hot Chili Peppers and Bruno Mars together at last at Super Bowl 48.
They were there, like they were in attendance?
They were performing. They helped.
Oh.
They came out and they played Give It Away.
I mean, I think the Chili Peppers are like one of the best bands of all time, and I would love to see them headline a halftime show. I think my dad was texting about who it is this year. It's he asked who I thought. Oh, it's Wayne Newton.
Oh, it's in Las Vegas, I guess.
I don't know.
Is that where the Super Bowl is?
Let's find out.
Ugh. I don't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've tried multiple times. I've been like, I'm going to explore the discography, and you don't like it.
You're kidding me. That is shocking.
I like some.
Wow.
Some of the songs are awesome. I love some of the songs.
I mean, I think it's one of those bands that just doesn't have skips on their albums. Like every single song is good. That's really interesting. So what did you listen to? Because there was a point where the Jeff Frusciante, I don't know how to say his name.
John Frusciante.
Yeah, him. He left the band and then he came back. Jeff Frusciante. And when he was gone, they were bad. But during his time with them, like Californication, what's the other one? Blood Sugar Sex Magic was their first one. Stadium Arcadium is a double disc with no skips. Stadium Arcadium is, I think, one of my faves.
I'm not into. I owned One Hot Minute.
That's the one with Give It Away, isn't it?
No, that's the one with Give It Away. I think was on Blood Sugar Sex Magic
with Under the Bridge, and what a great debut album.
It wasn't a debut.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic was.
Mm-hmm.
What was their first album?
The old shit is old. It's like 1982. Let's see. The Chili Peppers' second album was called Freaky Styley.
Okay,
and had Jungle Man
release, like their first release that anyone's ever heard of. One Hot Minute, 1995. Blood Sugar Sex Magic was in 91. These aren't in order. So for all intents and purposes, Blood Sugar Sex Magic was their first release on a record label that they didn't put out themselves.
Okay. Yeah, I like some of the songs. I just don't like the album. I don't like the songs that aren't singles. Like Suck My Kiss, I don't like that song.
Yeah, I did when I was 11. I don't anymore. I agree with that. Like when I was 11 and it was like, I was into that because I was like, yeah.
So he came back for Californication. Scar Tissue, I don't love that song. It's annoying. It annoys me.
Yeah, but it wasn't when it first came out and you didn't hear it everywhere and a bunch of annoying people told you they liked it. It was a good song when it was listened to in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Danny California is a good song. Hard to Concentrate is the song that I was going to play at our wedding. It's a very sweet song. Death of a Martian is a great, there's some there's some really good deep cuts that I would encourage you to get off the singles.
I've tried this though. That's what I've tried. Snow? I literally started intentionally started listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers deep cuts, looking for the songs that weren't released as singles, and I wasn't into it.
Can you hear this?
Mm-mm.
How do I play it on YouTube so that you hear it?
So if you want to play something that we can hear, it has to be in the same window. Yeah, you got to share it, but it's got to be in the same window. It's got to be a tab in the same window.
Okay.
It's kind of annoying.
Can you hear that?
I can. Yes.
You know this one?
Yeah. Snow, Heyo. It's annoying. But I need more than myself this time. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, and I do believe that we rely on. When I lay it on, come get to play it on my life to sacrifice. Hey yo.
That's good. Hey yo, listen what I say, yo.
I'm not into him.
All right.
How many times did Frusciante
leave? To disagree a bunch. I think he was a pretty rabid drug addict.
He was in and out 3 times. First departure in 1990.
I think he's in like he's definitely filled out his rehab stamp card. He gets the next one free.
He's gotten to all of them. He's visited all the branches of the talking stick rehab circuit. I don't know.
Now, Jeff, when Samantha has the talking stick, we respect her. We all listened when you had the talking stick. Let's give her the same courtesy.
Yeah.
All right, brother. You want to see that? You want to see my fantasy football team?
I would love nothing more than to see your fantasy football team.
The biggest problem with fantasy football is that nobody cares about anyone else's team.
Yes. Well, yeah.
But
totally.
But the owner, you care deeply, and you just so badly. There should be a service that you can call and share your fantasy football team with. And someone on the other line would be like, "Oh, no way, you got him? What round? In the 5th? How did he fall that far?" Like, there needs to be some validation so that people stop telling me and you what their fantasy football teams are. But if you want to make a friend, ask them to see their fantasy football team. They'll be so happy.
I'm sure that exists. There have to be like Barstool Sports call-in shows.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about like a 900 number where you just get someone on the end of the line who's going to pretend to be interested in everything related to your fantasy football team. But yeah, there's definitely communities.
That's a good idea.
The problem with the Barstool Sports call-in show, if it exists, which I'm sure it does, even they don't care. They're doing it for money, and it's just so disingenuous. You can tell no one gives a shit about anyone else's fantasy team but their own. Like, the gap between caring about your team and another team is so wide, wider than in any other thing in life. Like, people are genuinely interested in hearing stories about other people's kids. Not as interested as the parent, but there's a gap, but it's not nearly as wide as fantasy football team. Or vacation. Like, no one really wants to hear about your vacation, but like, I'll look at a couple pictures. You know, I'm interested in that. It's a gap, but not as wide.
Here, I'll agree with you to a point. I think vacation stuff is interesting because it's like, is this something that I would interest? Like, would I want to go on that vacation? Sure. But it's right. And so, like kids stuff, like whatever. I mean, it depends on the relation to these kids. If they are related to you, yes.
No, I mean, like if they're your nieces and a story like, "Oh, my kid the other day did something funny," and it's usually people are usually aware enough to share just the good stuff, right? So, like, sure, but like, I'm barely hanging on to that. Like, barely interested. Barely. The gap exists. But with fantasy football, if you say to me, I just picked up someone in my 14 team league, like, man, that it's hard to get lower than that.
I agree. With that being said, let's see your fucking fantasy football team.
No, I'm not going to show it to you.
Full of guys I've never heard of.
Now you've heard of I drafted guys I've never heard of because I figured if I've never heard of them, but they're ranked this high, I bet they're really good. Same thing as my dessert theory. Same exact school of thought.
Desserts and tight ends. I mean, you gotta go with the experts.
Yeah. I drafted 2 guys because their first name was Tank. There's 2 guys named Tank in the NFL. That's
you
cool.
got them both.
I got both of them. I cornered the market on tanks. And according to the website, I got a D on my draft. They have ChatGPT write up this horrible analysis as if the experts at Yahoo were poring over your team and coming up with editorial content. And it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. What a ridiculous industry.
Agreed. All right. I think it's time to wrap it up.
All right, broski. Good sesh. Give the sesh a chance.
Sorry, say it again.
Let them into your heart. The Chili Peppers.
Man, my music listening is very I have to decide and make the decision. And I've done it. I'm done. I'm moving on.
What the hell does that mean? Who listens to music without decide? You mean you just don't turn the radio on?
I'm not going to decide to listen to a band that I already know I don't like.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
To maybe see. I'm done with that. I'm moving on.
Here's an old one. Here's an oldie but a goodie.
I love AM radio. All right, man.
All right. Later.